We are coming back for the main work.
President Tinubu, you have to revise your policies. If not, they are going to destroy the nation. It will also destroy the government.
Controversial Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has accused some Christian groups in Nigeria's Middle Belt of staging fake mass killings to fabricate a genocide narrative in a statement shared on his verified Facebook page.
In the blood of my people, and they are saying the cups inside are empty. God of vengeance, where are you? Arise.
Is not fair to the Christians of northern Nigeria, neither is it fair to the victims and their families. Because some of us who are talking today, we've been around and we have buried many in numbers.
We are in the middle of a war. The Fulanis have levied war on every indigenous population, ethnic group in Nigeria.
Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they caught him? In the house of Shetima.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News, Gist and Blog. I'm going to play you some certain videos that I came across on social media. And this video should mean a lot to you, especially if you're a Christian. If you're a Christian, please, I beg you in the name of God to watch this particular video so that you will know where we are, where we are going, and how it might end up if action is not taken. Now, these are videos from whom Nigerian Muslims are mimicking, the people that they are emulating, the Islamization movement in Nigeria. But I want you guys to watch these particular videos, not just one, not just two, but I want you guys to watch this first one.
When Muslims go and conquer the adjacent country, what do? We kill them all? No. The Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they accept it, leave them. Khalas, they're Muslims, we go. If they refuse, then tell them to pay taxation, jizya. If they refuse, then we have to fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take where, because you refuse, I give you two good options.
What he said. If you don't believe, and if you don't submit, the only option that is left for you is that you pay tax or you remain slave. After you watch that, I also want you guys to watch this video.
Muslims' companions left Mecca to go to a land that had no Muslims. We are in this country purely for the sake of Allah.
What is our role now? Let me just quote for you an ayah of the Quran. Allah is saying, do not obey the disbelievers. Don't yield to them. And then He gives us the process of what to do next. وَجَاهِدْهُمْ بِهِ جِهَادًا كَبِيرًا. And so make jihad against them.
What is your duty as a member of the Ummah? Now our physical jihad duty to fight the entire earth until we enter it into the Ummah.
The future is ours. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change. And never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
You also listen to what they are doing. You also listen to their message. This movement is real. Now, I also want you guys to listen to this video.
Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements. Ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets but the ballot.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants
is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
Now, this movement is so real, and there is no way out for us anymore. I'm not against them doing whatever they are doing, but I'm against the Christian not doing what they ought to be doing. But how many of you remember Nnamdi Kanu? Nnamdi Kanu, whatever he was saying then, and this is the moment all of you should think that, now I know why they hold him out there, captive, that they don't want him to be released. But I want you guys to listen to the message he was sending year 2020, 2019, and all the things he was trying to warn Nigeria against that is before then now. I want you guys to watch it.
Nigeria bribes every ambassador that comes to Nigeria. They give you loads of money, so you will never report what is happening in Nigeria. You don't know that. Your diplomats presiding over the slaughter of the innocent. You cannot speak the truth. We are in the middle of a war. The Fulanis have levied war on every indigenous population, ethnic group in Nigeria. All of you can see it. And that is why people are dying in Nigeria. Nigeria is the only place in turmoil, not making it onto the front pages of newspapers all over the world. Nobody talks about it because they are all compromised. They've been bribed.
Remember, the Northerners in Nigeria are so powerful. They controls anything you could ever imagine. Anything, the judicial, the armed forces, the Senate, the rep, the Aso Rock or the states, anything you could ever imagine, they controls it. They are the ones that hold Nnamdi Kanu captive. Some of the people in Southeast, like Igweke, all those people felt like, oh, it's because of what Nnamdi Kanu said. Nnamdi Kanu should remain there, but they don't know what is going on. The only people they believe that could stop their movements is who they are targeting. That is why when a bandit do something, they can give them amnesty. Either amnesty, clemency, presidential pardon, or peace deal. But when somebody from Southeast do it, by Sondokosu, by executed, Jeto du Yahoo, executed, Nnamdi Kanu, arrested, Samuel Akpan, arrested. It is furious like that. But when it comes to the other way, it's peace deal. Anyway, you have watched Nnamdi Kanu video. Let me not just hold you there. Have you guys watched recently the videos, the interview, the post of Sheikh Gumi? Sheikh Gumi is so believing that all those things that you guys are complaining about are false. He said he did a forensic investigation, proved that all those caskets, they are buried, all those things is empty, nobody inside.
Controversial Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has accused some Christian groups in Nigeria's Middle Belt of staging fake mass killings to fabricate a genocide narrative. In a statement shared on his verified Facebook page, Gumi claimed that a doctor informed him that certain groups are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. Gumi wrote on Facebook, "A doctor wrote me, do you know that some Middle Belt Christian groups are now staging fake mass killings? They are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed just to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. This is desperation at its peak, a disgrace, manipulating information just to provoke hatred and international sympathy." Gumi further described the genocide allegations as part of what he called a well-orchestrated plan to attack Sharia law and fuel Islamophobia. He urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to summon the U.S. ambassador and demand an official retraction of Trump's threat or consider severing diplomatic ties with the United States. However, Northern Can President John Hayab has dismissed Gumi's claims, accusing the cleric of lying and manipulation. Rufai, I'd like for you to tie in both stories. First, the comment from Yusuf Tuga, and also, this is a serious allegation made by Sheikh Gumi.
Please, with due respect, I must have to beg. It's not that hard to tell the truth. There's Christian genocide. People like Sheikh Gumi, from saying that Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed, now they are trying to deny the corpses of people that died.
And I have actually seen videos, Rufai, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you on this one, about the coffins. I have seen open coffins of entire family members, babies, all Christians, being buried.
It has now shown that it's a propaganda people are trying to play.
Yeah.
But you see, in life, you will be judged by what you did. And we should be careful. Sheikh Gumi, in his propagandish nature, is now saying that these killings never happened, by saying that some of the coffins, or by saying that somebody sent him a message that some of the coffins are not what? That you don't have people in them. He's not going to deny the fact that we're going to say it again, and they might not like it. I don't want to be popular. I want to stand in justice at all times. There's Christian genocide in Nigeria, and please, let's find a way to solve it. Let's not do this propaganda. Let's not pit people against each other, and let's not deny the killings and the pains of Christians. We have to say things the way they are so that the government will solve this problem. The first approach the government took showed that they wanted to go the line of changing the narrative, which was wrong. Nobody's saying anything to spite anybody. We are speaking the truth so that we can get action.
Yes, absolutely.
And Sheikh Gumi saying this is very bad and insightful.
Really insightful.
And I'm shocked that Sheikh Gumi is saying this. Nobody's talking back at him.
Really?
Government is not saying anything. We are just looking.
All right.
It's not fair.
This is unfair, Dr. Bati, really unfair. I mean, I'd like to emphasize the point again that Professor Wole Soyinka made. You weren't here when we took the story where he talked about the fact that the people that are killing the Christians are Islamist extremists. They are not the regular Muslims, they are jihadists. And we have heard this over and over again. Unfortunately, I can't take your comment. I'd like to take this story so we can take our milestone as well. But we'll continue to follow up on the story, and we would expect some more sympathy from the federal government of Nigeria regarding this very, very sensitive issue.
And this thing pains Pastor Ezekiel. He couldn't just hold it and took to the grave of those people and lay a curse on Sheikh Gumi and those that are believing in him. And I want you guys to watch this video.
In the blood of my people, and they're saying the cups inside are empty. God of vengeance, where are you? Arise. Where are you? Arise. Where are you? Arise. These are not empty cross here. Cups. My people are inside this grave. Don't keep quiet. Father, are you alive? You are. The blood of people that have been left in this grave. You are God of vengeance.
You have watched the video. If you are watching Sheikh Gumi video recently, you will know that this man really did not want banditry to end. He just wanted to continue, and he wants it like they should just execute all the Christians. That's what he wants. Like they can buy you, don't buy them. Don't retaliate. Whatever they do to you, don't retaliate. But let's not just focus on that. I thank God that Reverend Joseph came out to enlighten Nigerians about this Christian genocide in the north. And I want you guys to watch this particular video of Arise TV News with Reverend Joseph. The details of information that he enlightened to the people in this particular video is alarming. I want you guys to watch it. We'll be right back.
Let me go straight to your question. Can I consider what has been happening as genocide against Christians? And my straightforward answer is yes. Y-E-S, yes. Because these things have been there. But let me quickly put this picture. We have different groups and different people who view this differently. Number one, we have people who chose to deny that there is genocide. In their own thinking, there's no Christian persecution even in northern Nigeria. We have also those who deliberately chose to downplay this matter. In their own thinking, claims by Christians that they are being persecuted or they are being killed is just for them to get sympathy. We also have this group who deliberately also chose to misrepresent Their own is to keep misrepresenting the entire conversation, framing it as it is just only farmers' herders conflict. Well, we know as victims that it is not. And then we have the last group, those who probably are sympathizers of the perpetrators or sympathizers of victims. So anytime you listen to this conversation, you have this thing going. But as I've said in many fora, that the truth about it is that anybody who comes out and say that there's no Christian genocide, there's no Christian persecution, is not fair. It's not fair to the Christians of northern Nigeria, neither is it fair to the victims and their families. Because some of us who are talking today, we've been around and we have buried many in numbers. We can give those numbers and those incidences with dates. Long even before Boko Haram came up. So the killings have always been there. To just fast track it, you begin with issue of Sharia crisis in 2000. Over 2,000 people died. And we know what really happened. We buried them. In just 2 years after, the Miss World Beauty Pageant crisis came up, over 300 people were killed. We know what happened. We know the people we buried. I used to say this not for any reason so that you don't think I'm telling you stories I read from books. I was part of the burial. I actually did the burial. So it's not a story. We knew what happened in 2006 about the Danish cartoon crisis. And then Boko Haram came up and further make it big. Kill our pastors, burnt our churches. The fact is that, like the Baptist church that I belong, many of our churches have to shut down completely in Maiduguri and in most of the part of the northeast due to Boko Haram. Boko Haram were not just targeting people, they were targeting Christians. They publicly came, and thank God, ISWAP and other terrorist organizations have saying it publicly that, look, they will not stop tormenting or they will not stop persecuting Christians. But when you ask me as a Christian, is it just about goes beyond that? There are so many things we have faced. We face a situation where our children cannot be admitted in certain universities that are public universities, and their crime is not because they are not qualified, they are Christians. We face a situation that even if they go to that school, you have mosques and places of worship for other religions, but they don't have a place to worship. So every Sunday, they will be changing classroom for them. You're not going to worship here today. You're not going to worship here next week. So they don't have a permanent place to worship. And we ask ourselves, where? I, Reverend Hayab, have fought even in public media that there should be no federal institution in Nigeria where a citizen of Nigeria, a son of a Nigeria, will not be allowed to exercise his right. But our children suffers that. Look, I'll give you an example. There is a resource center by the Catholic in Kaduna, near the Lugatho runabout. In 2000, there were many priests. I remember one of the priests I will always remember is Professor Peter Bona. He is a professor, a Reverend Father, a professor. They chased them out of that place, burnt all those centers. So Christians have suffered so many things that we don't just keep repeating it. And that's why we say, first, acknowledge that something went wrong. But let's look, how do we correct what went wrong? But when you say that there was nothing wrong, then we are not going to correct it. We'll keep pretending and keep lying to ourselves. If we want to correct it, first we acknowledge that something went wrong. Christians have been killed, and truly we've buried many.
Now, not just him. Like I said, a lot of pastors are trooping in their own opinion. But I also want you guys to watch this particular video of this pastor, what he said about this Islamization, the Fulani Herdsmen, and the genocide that is happening in Nigeria. I want you guys to watch it.
Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they got him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know him? But today Shetima is your vice president. How do you win a war where terrorists are ruling you? Where terrorist sympathizers are moving around? This is not a period to say we are praying. No! This is a period of wisdom. This is a period of action. Now,
You guys have watched all the video, but the only thing that I'm happy about is that I recently read on the news, I think for Punch News, that APC shifting was abducted and executed in the north by bandits. Nigeria, when I watch the video and I see the post, when I go through the comment section, Nigerians were rejoicing. When I get wicked at all, how the buy person like that, the whole APC shifting, that they buy him, and you people they rejoice. Some people say, why the man don't shout, I'm an APC shifting. No, don't touch me. Maybe they would have released him because now they sponsor the bandits. But now the thing is beginning to grow gradually to the high level. The problem that I have with this banditry is that You guys are saying that the reason you are fighting, in case any of you are watching it, you guys are fighting because the government is suffering you people. You guys are not being treated fairly by this government. Government did not fulfill their bargain. But you are taking your revenge for the government. In the government house, in the Senate house, in the Aso Rock, or wherever they occupied in the high-ranking level, you are taking your revenge not to their offices, not to their house, not to their places, to a local village, to the same people they are suffering like you start buying them. How does that make sense? I can't just believe that as I am now, I feel this frustration of this government. Like I'm so, like hunger, everything, you buy data, not, like I'm so frustrated. I don't see government house go, I don't see Senate house go, I don't see all those government officials that is making life unbearable for me. I will just go market. Where people that are poor, like my mothers and my family are, I will not buy innocent poor people to provoke or to make government believe that I'm angry. It's just like, for example, now, another person is angry. Now, you Fulani Herdsmen that are feeling like, okay, you are moving, that the reason you are doing all of this is not Islamization, is not because of genocide, that it's just like you are frustrated of this bad government. How would normal people now just sit down? You have your children, you have your wife, you know, in your whole house. Like, I'm so angry the way this government is treating me. I will just come to your house and finish your family. Finish everybody like this. After I finish them now, maybe they ask me, I say because I'm angry. I don't like what the government is doing to me. But these innocent people that you are taking now, is any of them related to this government? No. Do you even think that this government cares? No. It's only when it affects them. Why not take your frustration in your large numbers and go to the Senate house on Senate Day? Occupy everywhere. Do what you must do. Or if you're so frustrated, go to your state governor house, occupy it. What you must do. Why must it be innocent people that are feeling the same pain, the burden of this government? Why must it be them being your victim to send strong message to the government? You kidnap poor person demanding money. You said you are frustrated. The same frustration, you are so frustrated you have money to buy a weapon, but these people don't even have money to feed. The other day, I saw a post that your vice president Shetima is telling people abroad they should come back to come and invest in Nigeria. Where would you invest on? Are you going to invest Shawata village, be just all those places that they are buying people in Zamfara, Kano, Kaduna, all those places you could ever imagine? Now you want to come and invest so that they will buy you. Or you want them to come and invest so that you will increase tax on their life, or you want them to come and invest in Lagos so that you demolish their building and claim it because they did not support APC. Just like Nigeria is nothing to write home about. Now look at our army. Our army will just eat belly full. Now go put fire for bush. They say the Fulani Herdsmen house. You'll be seeing picture from the sky and say we capture over 50,000 of Fulani Herdsmen. Yet you will not see video. It also pains me that if really you want people this banditry to stop, why even arresting bandits? Why not execute them? Because if they catch you, they know they arrest you, now they execute you now. Whoever is ordering that order should be ashamed. It should be an eye for eye. Why are you arresting them so that you can rehabilitate them and call them repeated bandits and put them in the military? Why are you arresting these people? We are supposed to see nothing less than over 100,000 mass burial. Anyway, I rest my case. We are still waiting for Donald Trump. Please, so come and help us. We are not saying you should take over Nigeria like the way they're making it to feel. We are saying, come and help us. We are helpless in this country.
Banditry started under the watch of APC because they were the one that brought them in. In 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then, and people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo-owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, When the Sharia riots, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we were living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody drew a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that debunks it is a total lie, because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we were Muslims, but we're still running, because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be boiled alive. Many of us saw human beings that were boiled alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about that he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, was the one that led him on. And they beheaded him. They killed the man. They killed him and they put his hand on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. Evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I stood in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The world that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why I'm explaining? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we are ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And these days, let me tell you this truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from now till tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Issa Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army has not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism where there are people high in government that are sympathizing to terrorism? How do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani Herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani Herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That's always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani Herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani Herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill? There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani Herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani Herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guard their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, the Hausa, they were happy. I know of people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of army. It was majorly on Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they are Fulani, and they brought them into Nigeria. What was the goal? The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries and they equipped them with rifles, the erupts, the Buharis. Are you with me? The erupts, the Buharis. Every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about it, and because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man conceded defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for did not achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And so, and this is being illegally mined by elites, the military generals, the oligarchs, the people that are the leadership of the North. They were mining these resources, and the money does not go into the federal government account. So what they do is that they employ the services of this banditry to create two things. Number one, to create diversion. So when you go to Zamfara, that's why you hear that they say there is killing in Zamfara now. It's because of the Ilema gold mine. There is gold in Zamfara that they are mining. And so these bandits that are already in the bush, Some people collaborate with them, partnered with them, and told them to see, keep creating confusion, create chaos. When you keep creating chaos, the Nigerian state and the people of Nigeria will not be able to focus on the illegal mining. They will be concerned about the insecurity. So the insecurity is created as a means of diversion in the north. Are you following me? It is created as a means of diverting the attention of the military and the Nigerian populace from being able to focus on the illegal mining of resources. And any part of the north where there is resources, you find out that insecurity there. Recently, it has started in Kwara because there is a great amount of lithium in Kwara too that they have discovered and they are mining. So they partner with the Chinese because the people that does this illegal mining are the Chinese. They partner with the Chinese to be able to, so the bandits became the security men of Chinese and all those people to protect them. So that while they are mining, they can begin to cause chaos. Because while the people are mining and they are causing chaos, kidnapping, nobody will be able to focus on what the Chinese are doing and those people illegal mining. Every single day to this moment, I'm telling you, they are mining in those places. And they will take it to an airfield in the bush and fly it out of Nigeria. They are making billions of dollars from it every day while people are being killed. That is why you now hear that Muslims are saying that they are killing Muslims too. What you have, it is what Buhari created. The APC-led administration created, the banditry they created is what is affecting the north now. Because the people they brought to come and kill Nigeria in 2015 did not succeed because good luck relinquished power to them. And now the people have become thugs, they have become tools to be used in the hand of men that are using them to secure their illegal gold mines. And that's why you kill them. That's why you hear that they say they are killing Muslims. Now, the Christian persecution and genocide has been there. So you find out that the other part, the Muslim and the Fulani Herdsmen keep going around killing in all those parts, and the Christians and the churches have been silent for too long. This evil has prevailed in Nigeria because the righteous men have been too quiet. If we're ever going to win against insecurity in Nigeria, Nigeria must put two things Nigeria must do. Number one, Sharia law must be completely abolished in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an Islamic state. Why will Nigeria, some part of Nigeria, be practicing Sharia? The law guiding them in constitutional law that believe that somebody deserves to die because he speaks against his God. Can an Hausa man insult Jesus and I kill him for insulting Jesus? But somebody believes when you speak against Muhammad, you deserve to die. How do you live in a country with somebody that has that kind of mentality? The military have become complicit. They are compromised. Nigerian military cannot win this war. 20 years from today, I'm telling you, 20 years from today, this thing of insecurity will not end because there are people that are enjoying it, benefiting from it, and reaping from it. If Nigeria wants to win this war, partner with America. Then they come and militate. I'm not sure I've seen that in Kano yesterday, some people were protesting that they don't want America to come. Because they believe what they have been told is that if America is coming to kill Muslims, and the man said he wants to come and kill terrorists, but they are protesting. Anybody that is negotiating, people like Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A terrorist sympathizer is a terrorist. A man that believes that you are not supposed to kill a terrorist is himself a terrorist. A man that believes that we should go and negotiate. How do you go and negotiate with terrorists? Because you see, terrorists are not just criminals. They are working with a wrong ideology. A man that believes that killing himself, he has nothing to lose. How do you negotiate with a man that believes that killing himself is going to meet their God in heaven to collect 72 virgins? How do you negotiate with such a person? A man like Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A man like Ali Mohamed Shadi should be arrested. You want to win against terrorism, you must go brutal. No nation win against terrorism by pampering them. The custom is taking rice, seizing rice from Nigeria and taking it to terrorists in the bush that they need to take care of them because they are human beings. No. The moment you have become a terrorist, you see that taking the life of your fellow human being is nothing, is to please a God. Then you
love you guys. There are more posts coming on this platform regarding to these same issues. If you love our post, please subscribe. If you have not done so, if you do, turn on notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out official posts. I love you guys. Stay connected. Comment your thoughts. Like this video. Share this video to all your social media platforms. Until we meet again. Bye.